Technology is changing every single thing, every aspect of our lives, and you will not get away from it. Now, if you do not adopt or adapt, you will be lost, young and old. Right? Now, here's the good news. Disruption is changing everything. Technology is here. And if you practice the fundamentals that we were raised on, and you add those fundamentals and those principles with the technology, you will not be able to be stopped. It is disrupting everything. Now, why do I say that? Well, most of us were raised in the ways of the old days. We woke up before everybody. We went to bed after everybody. We thanked everybody for our success and blamed only one person for our failure. And that's the hard work and the ethics that we put in. And that's what made Kansas City so great, because of the great people that were here and the great people that have built this city. Now, how can we put that with today? You see, the easiest thing to sell is the truth. And that's what we have here. Now, why is today personal to me? It's personal to me because I don't believe that there's any difference between you and I. I only just have a camera on me and I sit next to an a-hole named Kevin O'Leary. That's it. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur at heart. Right? Now, let's talk about technology here. Let's talk about it. Well, clothes aren't being sold these days anymore. No. That's not it. You see, I met a kid the other day, and he said, "Hey, I want to become a rapper." And I said, "Well, we were in a hotel lobby," and I said, "I can't really help you with that." And he said, "Okay, no problem." I go out to the parking lot. He has a car better than mine. I look at him and I go, "Well, it looks like you've been doing quite well with the rap." He said, "Oh, no. You see, I'm a fine graphic artist, and I have 100,000 people that follow me on Instagram. And here's what I do. Every Tuesday, I take a shirt and I put it up on Instagram and I paint it. And everybody knows that that shirt is only going to be up there for 24 hours. And whether you buy 5, 10, 20, 100, it doesn't matter. You will never see that shirt again. Everybody pre-orders that shirt. The next day, I take it to the screen printer with the money they have already given me to pre-order it. He makes a copy of the screen. He ships them all out the following day. I said, "Oh, that sounds good. How much did you do this year?" 1.7 million.
Ooh, wow.
Full margin, no returns. All the business people in this room understand what I'm talking about. Cut the middleman out. And you think that's just because it's a young child? No. A friend of mine said to me, "Hey, you know what? My parents were raised on the fundamentals of business and applying themselves, and they don't want to learn technology." I said, they use technology when they want to Skype with their grandkids in California because they feel closer to them, but they don't want to use technology. But here's what happened. In '08, like everybody else, my parents, they had a great business for the last 30 years. My mother was an interior decorator, and my father is a carpenter. That man, good old American ingenuity, that man can build anything in the world with his bare hands. But what happened in '08? Well, their house was underwater. So they had to go into their 401s, right? Then, of course, they had to help a couple of their friends out because medical issues and things of that nature. Now, all of a sudden, they had to sell their house, and now they're living in a small little apartment. But here's the bigger problem. My father is not a spring chicken anymore. My father is 62 years old, and if he falls off a ladder again, he may not live. But he has to work because he does not have any money, and he killed his 401k. I said, "So what did you do?" Well, he said, "I know a couple of technology guys. Here's what I did. I came home with my dad and I showed him a picture of a mansion. I said, 'Dad, can you build that mansion?' He said, 'It'll probably take me 5 years by myself.' I said, 'No, Dad. Can you build a small version of that mansion, maybe about 6 feet long and 3 feet high?' And he said, 'Sure.' And he went and he got a couple of his workers, and it took him 1 week to build a hollow version of that mansion. Well, here's what my friend figured out. If somebody spends $5 million on a mansion, they have no problem spending $200,000 on a mini version of a doghouse. Right? Last year, my friend sat there and on Facebook, he attached sketches of mansions and attached it to everybody who likes $1 million listings and Sotheby's. And guess what? His father made $6 million last year. Right? That's good old American ingenuity. Now, his dad's on cruises and his mother doesn't know where to find his dad anymore. But that's a different story. It's about technology. It's about disruption. I met this year 67 people that have started a business this year alone and have done over $2 million out of their homes. Now, why am I sharing this with you? Because disruption is changing everything, even the banking system now. Right? Have you ever been able to go to a car wash and a guy who washes your car pulls out a square and swipes it? Think about that. Have you ever called an Uber? Right? Think about that. Technology is changing everything. And why am I saying that? Because this city right now, this city has made an initiative. This city has made an initiative to invest in their people and to invest in technology and become America's entrepreneurial city. And you have to understand that, and that takes a village to raise a child. It's not going to be just about the younger kids. And we're not going to look at the Twitters and the Facebooks and all those things as something just these little kids do. This is technology, and this is how we are embracing it. And you are one of the only communities that I've seen that are making a conscious effort to do it. Yes, you have your Austin, Texases, and all those areas, but it came from the ground up. The kids developed it. It didn't come from the top down, which is a blessing, which is amazing. Now, when I talk about the power, going back to the people, first I want to share something with you. You will never create anything new in this world, ever. Anybody here want to tell me something that's new? Twitter was a note on a pigeon's leg 1 million years ago. Anybody want to tell me something new? So what happens when the power goes back to the people? You get to sell yourself. Because you see, you look on Shark Tank. Let me tell you something about Shark Tank. We don't know any of those individuals. We don't even get a piece of paper on those individuals. Trust me, because if I got a piece of paper on half those individuals, I would go, do not come down the hallway. We know nothing about them. And those pictures don't last 8 minutes. Those pictures, the shortest pictures have been 17 minutes. The longest pictures have been 2 hours and 45 minutes. You only see 8 minutes of it. And what do I believe? Well, they say that a jury exonerates or convicts you within the first 30 seconds of seeing you. After that, all they want to do is listen to the things that they already think about you. I believe we do the same thing on Shark Tank. I believe that we do not invest in companies because I told you, you will not create anything new. We invest in people. That's why you will see somebody up there on Shark Tank with the greatest idea. The numbers are amazing, Copa DeVito. And we will say, I'm going to buy your company today and I'm firing you tomorrow. But then you'll see somebody up there with a big old beautiful heart. You know that person's going to do it with or without you. That person is crying, you're crying, we're crying with them. And I'm up there going, that's it, Barbara, give them the money. Barbara, give them the money. When the power goes back to the people, that's exactly when you elevate. And that's exactly when you prosper. You see, being an entrepreneur is the ultimate equalizer. You can come to this country with nothing. You can be a female. You can be somebody else, African American. You can be Asian. But being an entrepreneur is the ultimate equalizer. It's the ultimate test. And it's the ultimate feeling of freedom. How many people here are free today because they're an entrepreneur? Whether you're making money or not. How many people know that the decisions that you make are going to be what is going to help you in the rest of your life? Right? And that's being an entrepreneur. And giving the power back to the people. Now, here's one thing about when I say we invest in people. A lot of us, we walk into a room and we leave it up to others to interpret who we are. You leave it up to us to judge. The first thing about being an entrepreneur before you have a company is take inventory of yourself. Your assets are what feeds you, your liabilities are what eats you. Your assets are often family members. Your assets are usually ways you think. Same with liabilities. Your assets in this city, in this community, are the people that are around you, the people that want to invest in you. But can you go home today and put yourself in 2 to 5 words? Do you know what your 2 to 5 words are? Do you? Apple think different, Nike just do it, food will for us, buy us. My favorite, White Castle, what you crave. Ford, found on roads dead. I'm just joking. Let's wait to see if you're listening. Can you put yourself in 2 to 5 words? And why is it more important now than ever before? Because, especially the older generation here, let me tell you, men and women, something. You know the days we used to walk up to somebody, shake their hand, look them in the eye, we call their references, their resumes, whatever the case is. They don't do that anymore. You see these digital leashes we have? Everybody's looking at you through this. And does your 2 to 5 words represent the same thing that is this online? Because what happens? You know, a young lady came over to my office the other day. She said, I want to be work in your finance department. And she was highly recommended. And I said, okay, no problem. Go fill out an application with Teresa. Well, she went and filled out an application with Teresa. So, Teresa comes over to me and says, you sure you want to hire this young lady? I said, she was highly recommended. She said, check this out. Looked up on her Facebook. No financial conferences she goes to, doesn't follow any financial books or anything of that nature. Oh, 2 years ago she said, the boss is out here 205, I'm out of here 210. And that's her in a skimpy little nasty bikini drinking a bottle of vodka straight. I don't tell her why we don't hire her. She'll never know. I called her to hang out with her, but I didn't tell her why we don't hire her. I'm just joking. But that's where we are today. That's what we are. Now, how can you empower yourself? Now, by the way, remember those 2 to 5 words I say that you have to have that has to resonate throughout your social media and throughout your technology? By the way, you know all of us who have these great companies, but these individuals at our companies are not on the same page. They're telling all the nasty dirt and or their theories online and things like that, and all the things we're trying to do to put out what we do best, and they're trying to put out what we do worse. Remember that technology is very deadly. But technology can take this community to all new heights, new levels. Now, how are you going to become America's most entrepreneurial city? How are you going to do that? Well, I'm told that in 11, you decided to form a group of private sector and individuals who will help partner and fund and foster many of these companies. I went to, what was that village that I went to? Startup Village? Amazing. Amazing. A house full of young, energetic kids who looked like they had the eye of the tiger. How many of those houses exist here? How many? That's how you're going to become a community. We have to be very hands-on. You see on Shark Tank, the companies that flourish are the companies that the sharks truly go and put their hands on and we become part of. And it's not going to be just a bunch of speeches that the people are going to have. Where are going to be the initiatives? How are you going to reach down in these communities and not also give your money, but also give your time, energy, contacts, and knowledge? Because again, this city was brought and raised off of huge individuals with huge thinking and the understanding of the most vital fundamentals there are in business. And that's why I'm here today. That's why I'm proud to be here. So those are my points about technology changing, about disruption, about becoming a new superpower in regards to this city becoming the hub of entrepreneurship. Now I want to open it up to any questions that we have here.
Damon over here. Hi, my name is Clay Patterson. I'm with a startup called Bizarrely. I've heard it said that the only way to learn how to be a CEO is to actually be a CEO. And as you were building FUBU from just a pure concept all the way to a full-fledged enterprise, are there any particular situations or lessons or skills that were most challenging for you?
Well, yeah, I think that the first skill was to really surround myself with like-minded people, to find mentors. I think that one of the top reasons why businesses are successful are due to access to mentors. There was a study that Columbia did over businesses, and 30% of the businesses scaled quicker and lasted longer due to the fact of mentors. Because what mentors did was they would first of all keep the business narrow and deep. As young entrepreneurs, we want to do everything all the time. Number two is they would tell people not to take an investment too soon. And number three is they would also keep them on track and not let them scale too fast. And that's how we all know about obviously having amazing board members and amazing partners. So that was my challenge, to find great mentors and great partners.
Over here. Hello again, Damon.
Yes.
Michael Helmstetter, Technology Acceleration Partners. When you go back to when you started Fubu in the early 90s, you had the meteoric growth through that decade, and then you compare it to now where you've got this personally diversified portfolio, both in terms of your time but also your investments. How have your motivations, your entrepreneurial motivations changed from when you were in your mother's basement to what you're doing on the stage today?
Well, I think that my motivation today is I have the luxury of wanting to do what I do, and knowing that I have an ability to diversify myself, because at that time I was just laser focused on what I needed to do, and it wasn't done in my market at the time. So it was really the odds were against me. So now my real thought process is I have to wake up every single day and do exactly what I love, and then the money will come. At that time, it was a mixture of love, but it was a mixture of I had to feed myself. So I had to make certain decisions at that time that I wouldn't necessarily have made today.
Hi, this is Catalina from Greener Bay Construction, and my question is, in your opinion, what is the number one reason why businesses go out of business?
Overfunding. Overfunding to me. Why? People always go, wow, why do you say that? Well, somebody will go out and they will, the number one reason why entrepreneurs, one of the top reasons why entrepreneurs are successful is because a true entrepreneur will take affordable next steps. And they will act, learn, and repeat. But other people who may not be true entrepreneurs, and they haven't really failed enough, they'll go and say, yeah, you know what, I'm going to build a bakery. Because you know what? Grandma made the best cupcakes ever, and everybody needs to taste these cupcakes. So I'm going to take a $100,000 loan, and I'm going to open up this store because everybody has to taste Grandma's cupcakes. And guess what? There's a chandelier in there that's shaped like a cupcake. You got hats that are shaped like cupcakes, and a couch that's shaped like cupcakes. Here's the only problem. You haven't ever sold one cupcake. So, after about 3-4 months in business, you finally realize that you have your store, and there's a school next door where kids have a really bad peanut allergy. It's a gluten-free neighborhood as well. And, oh, by the way, that software you have, you really don't know how to work it, and your employees are stealing left and right. And you forgot that there is a little old lady out of the church down the block that have been slinging cupcakes like crack for the last 10 years. So when you figure all that out, 8 months, 9 months in, you have this Frankenstein loan on your back, and what happens? You're dead. Overfunding.
We got one more question over here. This is Kyle Fitzgerald with Life Equals. My question kind of goes off of what you just said. As startups get their funding and they move on and they start to grow, what are two of the biggest ways that they misuse those funds or waste those funds? Is it overstaffing or imprecise marketing? Cupcake-shaped hats?
That's it. Cupcake-shaped hats. It's overstaffing. It is because they didn't have the trial and error period, a certain level, that they go and think that money can buy them something. You see, the theory is that we were raised on OPM, other people's money. And that's the wrong theory. I think colossal bootstrapping is the absolute way that most of us have become successful, the ones who are entrepreneurs. And I think that OPM is not other people's money. My mother told me a long time ago, OPM is other people's manufacturing, other people's mind power, other people's marketing, and you can always make money off of other people's mistakes. Okay, well, thank you everybody for having me. I'm really excited about being here. With that, because I wanted to read the camera. I wanted to take the views. Can we get the house lights on for 1 second? Because I got to show everybody what's going on over here in Kansas City. All right, now do me a favor. I'm going to take this video of us all, and everybody, can you just keep giving me the camera too? Everybody, do me a favor. Just turn the house lights on and raise your hands and wave at me. You're going to see yourself. This bubble out lens, and you know what? If you have any warrants, please don't get in the picture.